Hello and welcome to Kump. Joining you, yes, on my birthday. People have reached out on Twitter. Thank you. I think my dentist is trying to rob me. I guess we'll get that in a minute. But yeah, it's my birth. I don't, you can send me gold if you want, if you have it lying around. If you have implements of gold extraction, any kind of, pickaxes or sift things, the pans you sift with to get the gold. That could also come in handy. Otherwise, just tune in. Thanks for listening. Pick up your before they run out, before they become unavailable. I'm a wine princess bitch t-shirts. You go to my Twitter. They'll be on the link here. You go to my Twitter, Instagram. You can get those, and you can be just wear that to vote. When you go to vote, you tell them, don't write me in. I'm not trying to do a political stunt here, but you tell the people who work at the place where you vote, I'm with Kump. This is a Kump thing. I think, what's a Kump thing? What? I think this is Kump, and it's gonna be the first they hear of me. It's fine. It's not gonna be I'm not gonna have a big conversion rate from this, so it's not like I'm not like begging for it. It's just if you want to be a part of the movement or lack thereof, just let people know you're with. You already got a gimmick. They're gonna try to get you to be a Democrat. They're gonna try to get you to be a Republican or a Green Party, or they wanted me to vote for Biden on the working families party. I keep getting these texts. What is this? What is working families? Like, there's Democrats, Republicans. We can vote for the same candidate, but be part of working families. I don't know what that means, and I won't do it. I don't know who a working family is. I'm a working man, and I have Lucy, and she's also a working woman, and we join our forces into a pot of. We have our own separate money, but we share, we do things, but I don't know who are these working families. What are they after? Is this some kind of like some like a family like the Waltons or the Prairie Dogs? Not the Prairie Dogs. Who am I thinking of? Little House on the Prairie. These just Christians, these Christian Democrats who want me to somehow this is the family from Shameless. Am I supporting the family from Shameless? These miscreant children selling drugs, selling sex. They get older as the show goes on, so I assume some of them might be prostitutes. I'm not looking for it. I'm just saying, who knows? Those kids are all adults now. It's like the little kid was 5. I don't watch. I watched some of the first season, maybe the whole first season. I'm not a TV show reviewer. I'm just saying, how is this show still going on? We get it. They're poor. And William H. Macy's just getting into hijinks. Free up William H. Macy, will you? Can someone provide a consistent set of checks for William H. Macy so he doesn't feel like he has to do Shameless for the next 50 years? I like the guy. I'd like to see him in more movies, more TV shows. Well, people just, I'm sure he's in a position of what am I going to turn this Showtime money down? Yeah, they make schlock. Even the stuff they make that's good isn't good. But when am I going to turn it down? My wife is in jail, isn't she? Isn't his wife in jail? Felicity Huffman, did she go to jail? Yeah, no, Felicity Huffman went to jail. And so, he's got to fucking look out for his family. But I'd like to see it. It would have been great to see him in The Americans when it was still on. Or, whatever. Are there shows still? What kind of show is still happening besides Better Call Saul? Is that the only show that's going on right now? And fucking Stranger Things, season 6. Now we're in Serbia, and we're just, looking for monsters. Serbian monsters. And, this is also, and here's a synthesizer, and we're playing an arpeggiator, and it's just like the 80s, remember? I mean, I liked the first season. It was fine. It was a rip-off. I've heard they rip people. I don't know. I heard people pitch to them, and who knows? I'm not trying to get on the bad side of the Duffer Brothers. I'm just saying, I don't know how you can be like, oh, they ripped me off. If whoever they ripped off is ripping someone off. The show is a rip-off of Styles, is my point. why can't we have, what's going to be the 2020 style besides the mask? Don't say masks. There's got to be more to it. What was last year? Like, what are you going to be nostalgic about in 20 years looking back? Just crazy, like MAGA, kids going to be wearing MAGA hats, ironically, because we've ended the race wars and the civil strife, and kids are just going to be kind of walking around with like melding eras with their fishtail skateboards and their, I mean, at what point does it all just kind of repeat on itself? When, you have these fucking, because all we hear now is 80s nostalgia. Maybe it's not in the rest of the country. I feel like in Brooklyn, it's still like kids playing 80s music. And that was like the 2000s. And they're still like pumping, like synthwave, which, it's fun to listen to. But, everyone likes a nice fucking Yamaha DX7 or whatever. Like, I should set this up. So I should do like a synthwave Kump. That'll get me on Netflix. That'll get me just pumping 80s, 80s synthwave while I'm talking about, my mouth wounds. My dentist, I got my crowns in finally. The show didn't start, but it was a big thing back in February. That I got, my teeth. I got 2 teeth removed, and they convinced me to get implants. And they didn't have the money. I didn't have credit, but somehow they were magically able to give me credit to give me implants. They have a good scam going. It's like, as long as we can kind of get you on the hook. I don't even know why. You would think, that's when, like, there's nothing to gain. Like a house they can take back. They can take back my teeth, but, whatever. It's all above board. But I've been sitting around for 6 months with these implants that I spent a lot of money on, with just rods in my teeth because I didn't want to go out in the middle of COVID. For a while, they wouldn't let me in. And then after a while, they come back, and I'm like, I don't trust. We dig around my mouth, coughing in my nose. But I finally got to put in the actual teeth part, not just the rods. And I have to go back next week and get another tooth removed because it's rod. I mean, look, I'm taking better care of myself, but, the damage is done. And I got some bad teeth. I got to remove them. But I feel like they're just kind of poisoning me somehow. They're probably good people. I just hate, I wish I could spend this money on something cool, like a fucking, like a smoker, or like something that makes buffalo wings, or like a skateboard. I just see me on a skateboard, no teeth, just doing an ollie, falling on my mouth. Anyway, the election's coming up. I don't know. I don't even see, like, they're warning about civil unrest. So, like, what if Trump gets reelected? People are just going to riot because if he doesn't get, I don't know. Apparently, he's. I've heard things today. I've heard that there's a move that, because there's a lot of legal trouble in Trump's future, supposedly. He's being targeted by the New York government, the state's attorney generals, whatever they call them. They want to take him down a peg, make him pay his taxes. I don't know. So he's got indictments. He's got sexual harassment. I don't know, a lot of rape charges. So they're saying he might retire or resign, so Pence has a chance to pardon him, which would be pretty bold if you ask me, but also kind of fun. Maybe that'd be the best thing, because they're saying he might go somewhere else. He might go to a country with no extradition. And that might be a nice reset. Because regardless of how you feel about him, the guy's crooked. The guy's a crooked. I mean, you like him because he's crooked. It's fine. You're allowed to like Robin Hood with the fucking... Is he Robin Hood? He doesn't give to the poor, but whatever. He's still Robin. I mean, did you really like Robin Hood because he gave to the poor, or do you like him because he's a thief? You like John Dillinger because he had a nice smile? You like people who are criminals. You live vicariously through them. That's the American way. We pretend to like the Robin Hood myth because, like, he probably just gave shitty food. I mean, let's be honest. You think Robin Hood was giving his best meat to the poor? He's probably making some case. Look, my boys, my wilderness boys, my what do they call those people? the merry men, my merry boys. We have to eat the prime pork and the guinea hen. We need this. We need, it's a cycle of energy. We need to do our reps. We have to like work out in the woods together, do our fucking spots, and get swole so we can pull these nice bow and arrows. And so here, eat this rotted grain, you pig. And people would. It's like the mafia. The mafia's not sharing the best stuff. They gave you a turkey at Thanksgiving, and everyone acts like John Gotti was, feeding the poor from his own tit. He wasn't. You get some scraps. That's all you can hope for. Now, so the fact that Trump doesn't really give you scraps, does it really matter? You like it because it's fun. So whatever. That's the point. And so if he goes somewhere else, because people worry about his effect on democracy, but if he goes somewhere else and resigns to get pardoned and then goes to who doesn't have extradition treaties? Tahiti? I don't know. What can I Google this? What countries lack U.S. extra? Why is my mouse not working? I need a goddamn interface. I need some kind of cyber interface so that I can do this show in a multimedia environment. What countries? Can't even type. Fat pig. What a fat pig I am. What countries don't have extradition? There we go. Oh yeah, Russia. Okay, Russia. China doesn't have extradition? I don't know. I feel like maybe with Trump they don't. But I feel like, pre-Trump they would have been like, hey, can you help us out? And then they would just gotten the guy. I mean, I can't imagine. The best non-tradition country. Does that mean for us? For U.S. Island nations, Maldives, Vanuatu, Indonesia. That's not. They have some great movies there. The Gulf states, Brunei, Montenegro, Ukraine, and Moldova. I don't know. I mean, he can go any of these places. You go to Ukraine. You can go to the Gulf states. I mean, the point is, it'd be a nice reset because it'd be kind of admitting of like, hey, look, he got over. He's a scammer. He's a fun guy who did the Weekend at Bernie's thing with the country. We're at Bernie. And he dragged us along for 4 years, pretending we were alive, pissing in our mouths, shitting all over the place. And now he's gone. Like, that'd be the best case. You want him to be held accountable in a court? I don't know. I first of all, he's gonna look fun doing it. He's gonna be saying wild things. It's just gonna be a mess. Just let him go to Laos or Cambodia or Vietnam. Imagine Trump in Vietnam. That's what you want. You want fucking or Cambodia, like Colonel Kurtz. Let Trump be Colonel Kurtz, and it kind of wipes the slate clean. Because, we can just look to him and go, look, he was a bad dude. He's gone. That's not us. Hey, Japan, that's not us. That's the crazy guy. And then you move on and you make your trade deals and we start selling pork again or whatever happens in this country. I don't know if you want a trial. It seems counterproductive. But whatever. We'll see what happens. I mean, is he gonna? Are we looking at a similar polling situation? People ask me. People write to me and ask me about the polls. Now I don't know. They did a terrible job last time. I mean, there's the theory that no one wants to admit to voting for Trump. But who the fuck's answering a poll anyway? I won't even. When they ask me like, "Do you like this app?" I'll just keep clicking. I don't want I don't leave reviews for anything. I gave something 5 stars. I think it might have been my air fryer because that was good. That was a good air fryer. I want people to buy it and be happy. But in general, I don't leave reviews online. I don't understand who puts things on the internet. Like, this is not me. Like, the show. Like, people like the show. They listen. If no one listened, I don't know. I mean, like, it's a labor of love, I guess. But I'm talking about the people, like, in the early days of YouTube, and it still happens, who put, like, old TV shows. And like weird, like albums on like what are you gaining? The people who like when you do file sharing, when you would allegedly download illegal stuff. Who are these people sharing everything? What do you get out of it? Is this what you give to the world? Are you the Robin Hoods of the digital world? The fat Robin Hood who like shares his copy of, his 6-year-old copy of Adobe Photoshop with the key generator. Like, what are you gaining? Maybe they're young people who just they like the idea of spreading their seed. Like, if you listen to Jordan Peterson, we all just want to get our cum everywhere, spread it all around the world. And, and the digital realm is just the easiest way to get, to get everyone pregnant, figuratively. Perhaps that's it. I'm going to grab my Red Bull. Why isn't Red Bull endorsed this show? Why is there a hair on my Red Bull? These are all questions, legitimate questions. So I don't know. I don't know if who's putting these things online, who's sharing them. How do we get this to voting? The point is, the poll. Who's answering the polls? Who's doing it? Who's doing Nielsen ratings? Like, who? Just can't you figure out a way just to track? But they don't. That's the problem. Here, I'm gonna let you in on this. It's set up because the media apparatus, the advertising apparatus dictates this, right? They need to have a system where they control the outputs, or they have some influence on it. And they undersell it, right? Like, if they just tracked everyone watching something, then the ad buys would be more expensive. That's why they do it this way. They the media, when you say the media, what are you talking about? The media really is a selling of ad space. What is this noise they're doing? Are you guys assembling a rocket? Jesus. It's the selling of ad space, right? It's the whole point. It's the reason you have a goddamn... everything you do on WPIX 11 or whatever channel you have, it's just there to sell ads. To sell ads to The Gap or Dr. Zigmore, the dermatologist, or Celino and Barnes, or 1-800-CARS for Kids. Remember 1-800-7-CARS for Kids? Remember that shit? That's all it's for. So, the news is trying to sell ads. That's the thing. It's like you talk about all the money that gets spent on presidential elections, how expensive it is. And no one talks about where that money ends up going. Like, why is it so expensive? Because it's going to NBC, which is owned by Comcast, I guess. It used to be GE. And ABC. Who are the people? That's the weird thing. It's like, when you look at the amount of money it changes hands on an election, why does no one talk about how weird it is that, the people who put on Saved by the Bell and Law and Order are the ones profiting off of the election? That's really the whole gimmick. It's all this extra money. Or people who are at Facebook. They must be making a ton of money, right? Facebook is claiming that, if Trump tries to steal it, I guess, or if anyone tries to steal it, I don't know. If there's a contested election, they're going to shut down the discourse, or they're going to not allow fake information to spread. You can almost applaud the instinct, I guess, to go, we're living in a weird time. This is but look how ham-fisted the Twitter shit is. Look, do I think the Hunter Biden thing is 100% real? I don't know. It doesn't seem like, I don't know why you just don't get in front of it and go, look, my son's a crackhead. I think I mentioned this before. And then just tell him, I fuck his wife. He's a bad boy. I fuck his wife. End of story. Because even if Joe is doing this, you have a guy who's basically admitting to being more corrupt in this in office. Just roll it off. Go, look, I got my beak wet a little. This shouldn't be like a death knell when you're facing Trump. But, to act... But there's obviously something there. Look, the crackhead's in the Ukraine. What's he doing there? You don't go to smoke crack in the Ukraine without, getting a little dirty. I'm not saying if you're from Ukraine, you can do you know what I'm saying. But what's Hunter Biden? What is this guy? Is he a fisherman? What's his trade? What's his expertise? So I'm saying there's obviously something to it. Is it overstated? Who knows? But the point is, it's a legitimate news story. If this is the death of the Biden campaign, that this pittance of corruption relative to the whole, I'm not even. What can you prove, right? People probably come at me. What can you prove about Trump and the Mueller report? Blah, blah, blah. I'm just saying the guy didn't even flinch as far as caring if it looked corrupt. So you know there's something there. The guy's shady. And Biden's probably shady too. But how are you afraid of this when you're facing Trump? So I don't know if the move is to do that. It seems crazy. Just like, they're shutting down the Post Twitter account for like a week. And the White House press secretary, who, yeah, I mean, I forget her name. But yeah, do I have a high opinion of her? No, she seems like a goddamn shill. But you shouldn't just kick her off Twitter because it's in the paper of record, or is it Post a paper of record? I don't know. I know it's run by fucking Murdoch, but it's still, it's still a newspaper. Who do you think owns the Times? I mean, who do you think owns any of this shit? So, yeah, of course Murdoch's a little crazier than most, but whatever. There's a line. There isn't even the air of like maybe we shouldn't be. It's handled so ham-fistedly. If your intention was to be at all objective, I don't trust Facebook to like moderate the discourse. In a contested election, there's got to be a way to if you're worried about supposedly preserving democracy, there's got to be a way of doing it without literally just kind of. I don't even know what you call it. What you call this kind of weird angel instinct. No angels, but this kind of like we're like this. You can't blame people for hating Silicon Valley. They really make it easy. When Reddit was doing that shit with trying, look, I sympathize to an extent because there's a lot of bad shit going on Reddit, on some of these what they call them, subreddits. Hate stuff. I mean, look, you want to be able to moderate hate stuff. I don't know if the answer is just to allow a full pipe of whatever comes out. Like, what, you want the dark web on the regular web? You have to have Netflix and the Disney Plus, and you can't have people trading child porn right next to that. Hopefully not at all, but the point is, like, I don't think, I think there needs to be some kind of moderation of, like, discourse. You can't just follow the whole idea, like, oh, everything's the First Amendment. Look, it's a weird, the internet's a weird thing. Maybe we moderate it, but like, I don't know. Maybe Reddit's done a good job. Maybe it hasn't. I know a couple years ago when they first published that article, or whoever did, it seemed they seem to be taking it seriously. But Twitter seems to be banning, ever since they banned Alex Jones. Now they're just banning. Yeah, people. I mean, the Charlie Kirk band, and I'm like, I don't like the guy. I mean, but like, should you be banning these people? Look, you should be able to disseminate propaganda on your own. I'm not saying everything should be propaganda, but you should be able to look at, like, Fox News, for instance, and see how biased it is. And when they report like certain things, extract data from it. Extract the fact that, okay, this guy, this plane crash did happen. Maybe their reasons are bullshit. When you watch, more subtle thing, maybe CNN does a similar thing, but it's a little more subtle. And you disseminate, like, you could tell these people aren't like skilled practitioners of propaganda. Barely any of them are. So it's usually pretty ham-fisted. So, like, I'm just saying, like, if democracy can't survive some YouTube influencer being out there, maybe it doesn't deserve. I don't want to be the guy, putting the nail in the coffin of democracy. But if you can't not get, hosed by some, obvious huckster selling his wares, I mean, what do you want? What are we preserving? Like, who are we? I mean, if I was telling people to, like, start a culture war and people listen to me, I mean, who would listen to me? I mean, people probably would. I mean, if I was a little less mumbly and if I wore better clothes and if I had my hair coiffed, would I be able to start a culture war? That's no great feat. We need to be above, you can't blame everything on, well, there's no more facts. There's stuff out there. Look at the AP wire. I'm pretty sure the AP wire isn't too crazy. And then you kind of go from there. Like, you go on Drudge Report, and it's just like, oh, this is obviously slanted. It's like, it shouldn't even be, I shouldn't have to say that. It's so obvious, it's kind of ridiculous. And the same thing with, like, whatever, Huffington Post or whatever the horse shit is. It's like, it's all, I'm an adult. I don't need to be editorialized too. All right? I can just read data and not have to, like, who are op-eds for? Who's reading an op-ed? What are you gaining from an op-ed? Anytime you see an op-ed, it's a guy. It's a guy. He's got his hand in your pocket. He's doing a loop-de-loop or a Scooby-Doo, whatever the fuck. Whatever these Oceans. We watched Ocean's 11, and I don't remember any of the words they used, but it was all stupid names for, like, oh, we're gonna do a Harry Bennington. And what is that in reference to, by the way? Is it Ocean's 11? Is this stuff they did in the original movie? I never saw the original. The Sinatra, the rape pack, whatever they call themselves, the Rat Pack. I know. I did that there. That was a little propaganda right there. But those guys who were they're all just gangbanging Marilyn Monroe with Jack Kennedy and making movies together, having a great time. Whatever. Maybe they were doing these stupid names. Look. Just go learn woodworking, like I said last week. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you anymore. Why is it going to be... What's violence going to solve? What, you going to riot because, Trump got anything? I don't know. We used to not give a shit. We used to just do stuff. Let me look up the news. Sean Connery died. I talked about him on the Patreon. Probably not a great guy. Google News. Let's see. Is that the best thing? If anyone has a better arbiter for news, a better aggregator, let me know. FBI investigating alleged harassment of Biden campaign bus by Trump. So the campaign bus is being harassed. What's going on here? So Trump supporters are following the Biden campaign bus with pickup trucks with flags coming out of it. Last week, we had motorists displaying 2020 Trump flags. FBI San Antonio was aware of the incident and investigating. FBI spokesman Michelle Lee told CNN. This is kind of fun. Look, there's no reason for anyone to be going out there campaigning anyway. It's all bullshit. So, imagine if, John McCain. Remember what he used to call that? The Straight Talk Express. Imagine if John McCain just if you tried harassing him on the Straight Talk Express and he just came hanging out of the back window with an Uzi. He just started shooting at you. John McCain was a war hero and he probably had PTSD and he would just shot you in the face. And Biden, he acts like a tough boy. He acts like he's some kind of tough, no nonsense, whatever. You used to see him at these hearings and he would be giving people the business. He's people buy a shotgun. You don't need an AR-15. Buy a shotgun. So why doesn't Biden just walk around with a shotgun? Biden needs to be. That's my biggest kind of concern right now. Is that Biden? None of them holding water for him. People in the hallway. I'm gonna fucking poison the floor. I'm gonna put oil on the floor, make them fall. These people making noise. Just stay in your apartment. Stop bugging everyone. But yeah, why isn't he just he's just kind of sitting around in his bunker, not acting crazy? He should be walking around with wings, bat wings. He should be dressed like Batman. Imagine if Biden was just dressed like 1992 Michael Keaton Batman with those wing things that came out. That would just be inspiring and badass. If he just had a fucking grappling hook. They can afford to do grappling hooks now. It's a real thing. Why doesn't Biden have a grappling hook? Why isn't he doing, they should put him on the back of a motorcycle. Get Casey Pastrana or whatever his name is. And, just bolt Biden to the back of the bike and have him do a fucking 360 loop. Stuff like that. They should be doing crazy stunts. They're still acting like people are people, and they're not. People are maniacs now. They want explosions. They want loop-de-loop tricks. They want... Biden should be doing an auto-tune track himself. He should be singing with Billie Eilish, singing about getting their dick sucked by Satan, whatever she sings about. I'm a whore, baby, scum, baby, put my thumb in my ass, baby, whatever. I love her music. She's great. He should be getting down and dirty like that. I don't know why he's playing this very safe game. It's not going to win him anything in the long run. It's a gambit. I mean, imagine him just dressed as Batman. I mean, like not Adam West Batman, like Batman with a gun. Batman versus Superman Batman. Like, just kind of walking around with an Uzi and a trench coat with a mask. Like he's wearing a mask, but and have him also wearing the COVID mask, mixing together. That's what needs to happen. I mean, Kamala Harris can be the one because she's a great look. I watched the debate in a bar a year and a half ago, the first primary debate with Democrats, and Kamala Harris was great, and she was great in the Pence debate. Pence was surprisingly adept at he's a scumbag in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinions. But regardless of being a scumbag, he's a slime bag. Politically, like he just comes off like a creep. But that being said, he did a good job. I could see why people could get behind him. I don't have to agree with you, but I can see, there's a certain kind of calm, and thing is that look. That's the thing. I don't know how any of this convinces you. You watch this stuff, you should be in a state of like, oh, he's good, she's good, and not like fall for it. They're all liars. It's all about who, regardless of anything going on, that Trump is just too volatile. He's bad for business. He's like when you kind of pop a pimple, like you're supposed to let it kind of you're supposed to let it develop this pimple. But I used to always dig at it with my fingernails and just pull it out and just try. And I would have these huge scars at work. People were going like, what are you doing? You look like a psychopath because you have these giant pimple scars because you couldn't just wait to dig it out of your head. And that's kind of what was I saying? How did I lose the thread here? That's what Trump is my point. He's just digging it out too quickly. This whole thing's going to fall apart. But and people act like we should need an accelerant. No, because there's nothing on the bottom. There's nothing to fall to. It's all just it's going to be a free fall. And that's not the fault of Trump or whatever. I mean, but there is no foundation. That's what you're going to realize. It's not it's corrupt, and if we just kind of blow the circuit, then we go back to a normal spot. No, it just falls to the pit of hell. So it's it's a fun idea, but there's no real point. Just get some guy in there, let Biden live for a year. And then you get let Ted Cruz in. You didn't want Ted Cruz. You didn't want who were the other Republicans? I mean, the Republican Party needs to get their dick up with some whatever. I mean, I don't even know what they're for. If you're for billionaires, run Mark Cuban, but he's a Democrat, right? Run? Why the fuck isn't Bloomberg a Republican? These people are all misaligned. They're all maniacs. They're all trying to drink the blood of children. Just run me. I'll take the Republican Party. I'll make it about let's just cut the budget. Just, stop the military spending. Just do that. Just stop buying planes. Don't you have drones? How many drones do you need? I mean, at what point who's getting all these military jobs? That's what we should be looking at. It's the people who are getting the ad money, with NBC and them, and the people getting the military contracts, the GEs, the Boeings. Why are these 10 people making all the money? That's the real focus. It's you can't cut the military. Why? Who is this helping? The people who they killed Kennedy. That was 40 years ago. Why are we still assuming that just because they shot Kennedy in an open limo that they're impossible to they'll kill you if you go against them? That people also listen to Tangerine Dream or whatever back then. They're all just they listen to stupid Beatles. I mean, I like the Beatles, but there was no fucking dubstep. There was no Nirvana or Metallica. We're afraid of people who listen to the Monkees. Oh, these were serious men. I mean, they overthrew Iran with circus strongmen. Strongmen, whatever. This wasn't. They weren't doing it with cell phones and cameras around. We're acting like they could still get to us. I mean, that's the thing. They did it Alan Dulles was good. The Dulles brothers were like particularly adept and sociopathic, and they liked Nazis, and they had a lot of Nazi friends, and they were formidable, and they killed Kennedy. But we're acting like we can't cut the military. Shut up. Well, it's all we have. Why don't we just? I don't know. Biden really should be just Batman. Dig up John McCain's corpse. He should be wearing They should have a hologram of John McCain at every Biden stop. And he's just saying stuff like, I killed so many people in Laos, in Cambodia, in Vietnam. They were right to torture me. And then they come out, and Biden comes out, and he's literally wearing John McCain's corpse, his cancer corpse, like a harness, and then just dancing. I don't know, because, McCain, look, if McCain wasn't going up against Obama, who was a transformative figure, at least from a political point of view, I'm not saying he didn't predator, it's a hard word to say for me, predator drone people in Pakistani weddings. And I'm not saying he didn't, let people down. But, he was politically very good. He came out at the right time. But McCain had a shot. McCain got fucked by Bush when they did the whole, what did they say, illegitimate child or something. It was an awful slander. I don't know if it was true or not. Who cares, though? Who gives a shit about anything? I mean, I don't know how the lack of talent, I bring this up all the time, is baffling. I don't know how, when Trump has handed you on a silver platter the schematic for, like, nothing sticks to anyone. And he's the only one who can make it work. I mean, other people do it, but he's like the only one who really, like, why does anyone care about Hunter Biden? He just be like, so I'm Biden, right? And your son Hunter, they found him smoking crack. Cut to me, pretends it's a beer, and I'm just like, he is a crackhead. You really cracked the case here, Columbo. My son's a crackhead. What am I going to tell you? Yeah, he tried to get me to talk to the head of Ukraine. I told him to go fuck himself, and I fucked his wife. Like, why? No one would not believe that. If you call your son a crackhead, and you say, yeah, this crazy fuck, high on crack, calls me and says, hey, Dad, let's meet with the head of Lukoil. And I said, shut the fuck, I'm going to have you murdered. And I didn't, because I still love him, and my wife and son died, and the other one died later. And so, he's my only kid left. So I'm sorry I didn't have him murdered. Lucy, can you get that? Our Target orders here. I ordered scented candles. Thank you, Lucy. I ordered scented candles and Pepsid AC and Advil. We're becoming very scented candle oriented. We're building a nesting situation here. I like to think of this as my bubble in the COVID world, where I can't go out and smell vanilla plants anytime I want, but I can light a candle and get vanilla. I can light an apple orchard candle. Someone get me a pumpkin candle. A cum candle, whatever. A kumquat. But it just smells like cum. Because you can't sell a cum candle at Target. They have, rules about that. What else is going? So apparently the Biden... Let's watch this video. That's a goddamn ad. It's a goddamn ad. But apparently they're being... President Donald Trump tweeted a video of the bus incident with the words, I love Texas. I mean, look, that's the thing. Oh, he's advocating for people to harass the campaign. Oh, he's happy people are kidnapping the governor. So kidnap your own governor. What are we doing? Get your Batman suit on. Thank you. Get your Batman suit. Kidnap the governor of some other state. What are you preserving? Are we going to have the meeting of the Sons of Liberty? Or whatever it's called, the Daughters of the American Revolution? It doesn't matter anymore. Just have Biden come out in a Batman suit, kidnap the governor of Iowa or Michigan. I mean, give him a Tommy gun. Baby.
Yeah.
Lucy, do you think we should give Biden a Tommy gun?
What's a Tommy gun?
It's the one with the circle.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah, wouldn't he look bad at... Look, if Biden came out in the 1992 Michael Keaton Batman outfit, wouldn't that, like... I mean, you'd be crazy, but you'd be like, oh, this guy...
You'd have to vote for him.
You'd have to. It's just something. I mean, I don't know. They're handing you the goddamn keys to the kingdom, and you're sitting there going, like, they're harassing our bus. They're picking on us. Someone stopped them from picking on us. Get a dick or a pussy. Whatever makes you tough. I mean, a pussy can make you tough. If you're a woman, you have a really big pussy or just a strong pussy. It doesn't have to be a gendered situation. What else is going on in this shit? So, did we have a video of it? I lost this thread here. I lost the goddamn page. I'm trying to find this. So, they're harassing the bus. I don't know. Why don't you put some tire strips down? Why don't you play dirty? Why don't you drop those, like, ninja star things, those little metal disc things that, like, blow the tires out? Get creative. Don't go whining on CNN asking for the FBI to investigate. Last time they investigated something, you got, Anthony Weiner's laptop and you lost the election. Why don't you learn your lesson? Oh, God. Joe Biden and Lady Gaga. I'm talking about Billie Eilish. She's getting Lady Gaga. She's done. Lady Gaga was 20 years ago. Lady Gaga's going to be... Billie Eilish, you dumb fuck. Why is he getting Lady Gaga? Poker face. And everyone... What, like a bunch of middle-aged men and women are going to sit there and go, remember the early 2010s? Who's that for? Get the kids, you dumb fucks. Kirstie Alley told not to downplay loss of life after slamming CNN's COVID coverage. Who's telling her? Who's telling fat Kirstie Alley? Excuse me. Is the White House... Kirstie Alley, took to Twitter Friday morning to share a strong negative opinion on CNN's coverage of COVID-19, which has infected more than 9 million people nationwide and killed nearly 230,000. I don't know why my personal friends who walk around in sheer terror of contracting COVID are simply CNN viewers. It's not a very persuasive argument, but Allie wrote, I decided to watch CNN myself to get their viewpoint, and oh my God, did I ever. If you want to live in terror, watch CNN. Fear of dying is their mantra, oh my God. But who told her? CNN's communications team responded to the actress shortly after she tweeted on Friday, and their own comment on Allie's work in Veronica's closet? What? I don't know. So they're slamming her 40-year-old TV show, Veronica's Closet? But don't... What's going on here? Kirstie, you're welcome to change the channel, just like countless viewers did every time Veronica's Closet came on TV, CNN wrote. But don't downplay the loss of nearly 230,000 American lives. See, that's what we're doing. That's fine. I mean, honestly, CNN's doing the right thing. Whether Kirstie Alley had a point or not, they're just slamming her. I mean, I would take it a step further. I'd be like, hey, shut up, fat pig. Your show sucked. But they're being a little more clever, I guess, technically. Although I think my thing, feels better to hear. I mean, she might be right. They might be fear-mongering. I don't watch these things. I don't know who does. Stop watching TV news. Just fucking get the things in your phone. Just tell you, get the AP thing. It just says, hey, a bunch of people died. And you go, all right, it's not me. I'm not dead. Where's my kid? My kid's alive? All right, cool. Stop worrying about it. Oh, the video games cause mass shootings. Yeah, if your kid dies, look into it. If not, stop caring. Focus on you. I'm not saying because you're not gonna help. You're not gonna help anything. I'm all for people who can help helping people, but you're not gonna help. Go feed a homeless guy. Give him a cracker and a carrot, something nice. Give him a sandwich. Go clean up a park. But what you gonna tweet at Kirstie Alley and convince her to stop being a pig? Convince her her show sucked? Who cares? Someone's tweeting, last week on Twitter, oh, I used to be a bartender, when she was doing the Weight Watchers thing, and she asked for a cup of hot fudge. Who gives a shit? I mean, yeah, she's a pig. I'm a pig. Who cares? She broke her diet. Who gives a shit? It's like, what are you doing? Go find a heroin addict and inject him with what's that stuff? Ayahuasca. Why don't you go down to Skid Row and just start dosing people with DMT and getting them off heroin? He was such a brave boy. You're gonna shit on Kirstie Alley. Go into the middle of the homeless epidemic and just start vaporizing ayahuasca plants and get these people off their drug addiction, and then put them into a nice bungalow and get them a job. We need to stop focusing on politics. Everyone, let them have their game. I mean, like, I don't know. I guess there's certain things like they're putting people in cages. So, but you take the foot off the pedal. You're pulling on the Chinese finger trap. I've used this analogy before. You're pulling too hard. Don't respond to Kirstie Alley. She's a pig. You think Walter Cronkite would respond to like some fat whore from the silent era of film? No, he would just be like, I'm a newsman. Think Edward Murrow would respond to the fat pig from some Orson Welles movie? Some old washed up crow who in Citizen Kane is giving shit to Edward Murrow. He's like, I was on the rooftop during the Blitz, you whore. Shut your mouth. And he would just flick a cigarette at her. And it wouldn't be misogynistic. He would do it to a man. But the point, CNN's responding to Kirstie Alley like she's some kind of who gives a shit? You doing roast battle here? You got Amy Schumer. You got Amy Schumer selling tampons and CNN doing roast battle. This is not a country worth saving, in my opinion. But I'm not. I'm the only one who can, apparently. So it's like my dilemma. I mean, they say ayahuasca can get you off heroin. I don't know why we don't try it more. I guess find a new story. We'll find a new story to talk about. This might be the last Kump in a not Civil War world. Maybe they'll become. I know I didn't try to downplay COVID. But when it first happened, I was like, I don't know. They're saying it's like the flu, and it turned out worse. But this might be what's going on now. This might be another one of those things where next week I'm like, look, I didn't think a civil war would happen, but apparently New Jersey and New York are fighting, and I'm sending my boys, my young boys, to fight New Jersey, and we're just bloodied and broken. My brothers are brothers at arms. Kendall Jenner channels Pamela Anderson in barbed wire with plunging corset for how. Who is this story for? This is on the front page of Google News. John Mulaney hosted SNL and his monologue sparked a mixed reaction. Who gives a shit? Aren't his parents rich? Why are we listening to rich people? Rich comics. There's nothing shadier than some rich kid who's like, no, I'm not going to run, this oil derrick business. I'm going to go do puns. And I'm the nice boy of comedy. I mean, look, I got nothing against Mulaney, but what's he ever going to do for me? Nothing. Stop humping for people who won't help you. And also don't suck ass either. Don't suck up, and hold water for people hoping they'll help you. I'm just saying, John Mulaney, he's gonna look at me and spit on me like I'm gum. He spits on gum. That's my analogy. Pregnant New Jersey woman killed by shooter who waited outside her home. Baby survived. What the fuck? How is this below Kendall Jenner channeling Pamela Anderson? A pregnant woman in New Jersey was killed by a shooter. What? Who's a shooter? Spent 90 minutes waiting for her to come home before shooting her. This is horrible. This is horrible shit. He was 8 months pregnant. Did he know her? Thomas allegedly waited in his car outside the victim's home for approximately an hour and a half. The victim was taking a... This is terrible. I don't even know what to say about that. God, give me the serenity to know my limits, my strengths. I wish I could get more hair. I don't know. What are you going to do? You want me to give you... you look at the ballot. I mean, I don't know if it's like this everywhere, but you look at the goddamn ballot, and the judges... I mean, look, you have the presidential thing and a few other things, and the judges, except for one line, you look across the board, and it's all the same people's names, but, under different filings. Lucy, come here, please. Lucy witnessed this. Lucy, come here. Remember how we looked at the ballot? Come over to the mic. Yeah, it's fine. Remember we looked at the ballot, and they were saying how... Oh, you're in the cameras, okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Hi, camera.
Hello. This is the Kump people.
Hi, Kump people.
The listeners, the Kump, and the watchers. Remember how the ballot...
Lawyers.
The lawyers?
Lawyers.
They're voyeurs and they're lawyers. I wish I had more lawyer listeners. There was like, Bob Vance and Republican, Bob Vance Democrat, Bob Vance Independent, working families, all the same. You saw that too.
Oh yeah. Everyone is. There are people who are just they're the candidate of every party.
Yeah.
It's dystopian.
It's dystopian. She said that. I wanted to give her credit for it. It's dystopian. We're living in just pick your party. You're going to get the same result, but pick your party. Let us know what you want to happen. It's not going to happen. But, when this judge votes for, a child to be killed, to make room for a Subway sandwich shop, at least you voted with the right party is the point. Could that child? Could they just ask the child to move? They could. Not gonna. Time is money. There's a kid in the way, and he's playing, in the dirt. Run him over and put a Subway sandwich shop, put a Dunkaroo outlet store, those cookies, right? The kangaroo. Put the Panera bread, but don't let a kid get in the way. And that's what the judges are for. So, dystopia is the right word. That's a dystopia. Not so much the Trump thing is predictable, but it's like, why is there the same judge in every party? That makes no sense to me. That's more crazy, and no one talks about it. No one's talking about the shooting of that pregnant woman, which I'm not saying let every local murder get, the country into hysterics, but we're talking about Kendall Jenner. And Kirstie Alley, who gives a shit? Like, someone needs to respond to it. No one needs to respond to anything. There's nothing to respond to. Just go build a stool and show it to your dad, and he'll love you again. Learn to play the bass guitar. Learn to, drill screws into your wall and hang shelves. Learn to shoot a gun. Who are you going to shoot? I mean, if you want to have a gun for self-defense, learn to be in the paramilitary. Go. Why don't you go join the French Foreign Legion, you pussies? Jesus, if you want war, there's war out there. Go into a war. I want to fight for my country. You're not going to. What do you think? Is going to be fighting in the streets of Duluth, Iowa? And somehow you're going to, if that's the case, it's already done. We got to preserve the American way of life. There was no American way of life where, we're just fighting in the middle of a mini mall. Except maybe Miami in the 80s. Apparently that was pretty hairy. But, go join Blackwater if you can. Go join the French Foreign Legion. You can just have a new identity. It's seductive, to hear about it. You just become a new person. And you get French citizenship. And you get to live in a village at the end of your life with other French Foreign Legioners. That's what I hear. It's hard, it's tough, but you can run from your crimes. Apparently, it's harder to run from crimes now. But I think if it's minor crimes, they'll let you do it. I don't think you can murder a bunch of kids and join. I think they've trying to used to be able to. I think they stamped that out a little bit. But the idea of the French Foreign Legion, but then you also, you think about it, it's all well and good. And you think about what they're doing, it's like, they're preserving the French colonial empire. Just go like Morocco and just shoot people. So it's not great either. It's not like you're gonna be building bridges. But if you want to go to war, I don't know why you're hanging out drinking beer with your buddies in the back of a goddamn with an RV, waiting for a race. Go to war. There's wars out there. I don't think the fucking guys who in Russia, in the Afghan war came back with missing limbs are going, let's start a fucking paramilitary group. No. I'm not some guy who's fucking asking for war. Cause it's no, I don't. Wait, pussy. Yeah, sure, but I like my arm. I'm already missing some teeth. Enough. Just fucking build a goddamn synthesizer. Sell it to me. Build a cool synth and sell it to me. Maybe I'll build a synth. Anyway, this podcast is brought to you by General Electric and Scented Candles. Sign up for the Patreon. You get an extra episode every week. It's great. Get on the Our Love is Disgusting train. It's me and Lucy Steiner. It's more focused. It's less crazy. It's a great podcast. It's you still have Ray. I still go off on tangents, but Lucy's there. It's a dialogue. I know you're all Kump boys and Kump girls, but you're not losing it. You're gaining something with Lucy. So listen to Our Love is Disgusting. It's great. It's not just sex stuff. It's barely even any. Lucy, come back here. I'm pitching the show. I'm pumping Our Love is Disgusting.
We're babies.
We are babies, but it's like barely even sex stuff anymore.
Yeah, it's just us. We go on a lot of tangents.
Yeah, it's whimsical.
It's basically like it's kind of like the tangents you go on, but they're maybe a little bit
tighter.
They have more whimsy.
They're more whimsy and tighter.
Yeah.
So listen to it. We're sitting here.
For example, we went on a pretty long tangent on one of the second to last episode about how our baby would die if we had a baby.
Yeah, how our baby would die if we had a baby. How did that happen? I forget.
It didn't get eaten by rats, but rats crawled into its mouth.
Right, and suffocated it. This is fun stuff.
Whimsical stuff.
Whimsical, fun stuff. I don't know how you can not listen to this goddamn show. I mean, it's doing fine. I'm not like sitting here going like, oh, we're going to kill ourselves if you don't listen. It's doing all right, but I'm just saying more people should. To do that, sign for the Patreon. Buy your I'm a Wine Princess Bitch t-shirt. And, yeah. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at RayComp. It's all great. I will see you guys either later in the week, next Sunday. It's all coming up, Kump.